The rise and fall of the British Empire. At its height, the British Empire was the largest empire in history, controlling nearly a quarter of the world's land and population. From North America to India, Africa, and Australia, British influence stretched across continents, shaping the modern world through trade, culture, and politics. But how did this once mighty empire rise to global dominance, and what led to its eventual decline? In this video, we explore the rise and fall of the British Empire, uncovering its key moments, strategies, and the lasting impact it left on the world. The British Empire began to take shape in the late 16th and early 17th centuries. Inspired by Spain and Portugal's colonial success, England started establishing trading posts, colonies, and naval bases across the world. In 1607, the first permanent English settlement was founded in Jamestown, Virginia, marking the beginning of British expansion in North America. During the 17th century, Britain expanded its influence through mercantilism, a policy that encouraged exporting goods and controlling colonies for economic gain. The British East India Company, established in 1600, played a crucial role in securing trade routes in India and Southeast Asia, laying the foundation for British rule in the region. By the 18th century, Britain's military strength, powerful navy, and economic strategies helped it expand into a global superpower. Several key events fueled this growth. The 7 Years' War, 1756 to 1763. This war against France gave Britain control over Canada, parts of the Caribbean, and dominance in India. The colonization of India. Through the East India Company, Britain gained increasing control over the Indian subcontinent, eventually leading to direct British rule under the British Raj in 1858. The African colonization, the scramble for Africa in the late 19th century, saw Britain expand its control over regions like Egypt, South Africa, and Nigeria, gaining access to valuable resources. The British economy thrived on trade, slavery, and industrialization, making Britain one of the wealthiest nations in the world. The Industrial Revolution, which began in Britain in the 18th century, transformed the empire's economy. Britain became the world's leading manufacturer, producing textiles, iron, and machinery on an unprecedented scale. The empire's colonies provided raw materials like cotton, tea, and spices, fueling British industries and trade networks. The British Navy became the most powerful in the world, ensuring that Britain could protect its global interests, control important trade routes, and suppress rebellions within its territories. This era, often called Pax Britannica, British peace, saw Britain dominate global politics, economics, and culture. Resistance and the beginning of the decline. Despite its power, the British Empire faced increasing resistance from its colonies. Several events marked the beginning of its decline. The American Revolution, 1775 to 1783. The 13 American colonies fought for independence, leading to Britain's first major loss. The formation of the United States of America weakened British control in North America. Indian Rebellion of 1857, also called the First War of Independence, this large-scale uprising against British rule in India led to the British government taking direct control over India from the East India Company. Boer Wars, 1880 to 1881, 1899 to 1902. These wars in South Africa weakened Britain's global standing and led to increased anti-colonial sentiment. By the early 20th century, nationalism was rising in many British-controlled territories, and movements demanding self-rule were gaining momentum. The World Wars and the Empire's collapse. The World Wars played a crucial role in the fall of the British Empire. World War I, 1914 to 1918. Britain relied heavily on its colonies for soldiers and resources. The war weakened Britain economically, making it harder to maintain its vast empire. World War II, 1939 to 1945. This was the turning point. Britain emerged victorious but financially drained and politically weakened. The rise of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers reduced Britain's global influence. After World War II, Britain could no longer hold on to its colonies. One by one, nations gained independence. India and Pakistan became independent in 1947. Ghana became the first African colony to gain independence in 1957. Many Caribbean and Middle Eastern colonies followed in the 1960s and 70s. By the late 20th century, Britain had lost most of its overseas territories, marking the official end of the British Empire. The legacy of the British Empire. Even though the empire is gone, its influence remains. Many former colonies are now part of the Commonwealth of Nations, maintaining economic and cultural ties with Britain. English is widely spoken across the world, and British legal, educational, and political systems have influenced many modern nations. However, the British Empire also left behind a legacy of exploitation, colonization, and economic inequality, which still affects many nations today. While some view the empire as a period of progress and innovation, others see it as a history of oppression and control. The British Empire rose to power through military strength, trade, and industrialization, becoming the largest empire in history. But resistance, economic struggles, and 2 world wars led to its downfall. While the empire is gone, its legacy still shapes the modern world in ways both positive and controversial. What do you think was the most important factor in the fall of the British Empire? Let us know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to History and Beyond for more deep dives into world history.